You try to do the right thing, but someone criticizes you, and suddenly you're shaken, or someone praises you, and you start performing for applause. Your peace of mind rises and falls with the opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, asks, "Why give others control of your tranquility?" Welcome to our exploration of Stoic wisdom. I'm your guide through the timeless teachings of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who ruled nearly 2,000 years ago, yet whose struggles mirror our own. His personal journal, known as Meditations, reveals a man constantly working to free himself from the prison of external judgment. Marcus lived in perhaps the most visible position in the ancient world. Every decision scrutinized, every word analyzed, every action praised or condemned by senators, citizens, and history itself. Yet in his private writings, we find a man determined to build an inner fortress that neither flattery nor criticism could penetrate, not through cold indifference, but through the clear-eyed wisdom that recognizes the true worth of things. Today, we'll discover how Marcus cultivated this rare freedom, the ability to act with integrity, regardless of what others might say. One passage reads, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." This observation cuts to the heart of our relationship with praise and blame. We know ourselves more intimately than anyone else ever could. We alone have access to our true intentions, our struggles, our full context. Yet strangely, we often value the partial, limited judgments of others above our own complete understanding. Another moment captures this paradox. If a god or a wise teacher should present himself to a man and bid him to think of nothing and to design nothing which he would not express as soon as he conceived it, he could not endure it even for a single day. This reveals a profound truth. We care more about appearing good than being good. We adapt our speech and actions to win approval, even when this means betraying our true nature. Marcus reminds us that this obsession with reputation is fundamentally irrational. Elsewhere, he observes, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only to what he does himself, that it may be just and pure." The ultimate rebellion against social pressure is this: focus solely on the integrity of your own actions. This isn't selfishness, it's clarity. By directing our attention to what truly matters, our own conduct, we free ourselves from the exhausting game of perception management. Praise feels good. When someone commends us, dopamine floods our brain, creating a natural high. But Marcus warns that this pleasure is dangerous, precisely because it's so seductive. He cautions, "Be not disturbed in thy actions by the praise or blame of anybody, for if a man does what is right, he should not be concerned about what others think." The risk is clear. When we grow attached to approval, we begin to shape our actions to receive more of it. Our moral compass shifts from internal principles to external validation. We become performers rather than philosophers. Consider this: men seek retreats for themselves, houses in the country, seashores and mountains. But this is altogether a mark of the most common sort of men, for it is in thy power, whenever thou shalt choose to retire into thyself. True freedom doesn't come from escaping criticism or seeking praise elsewhere. It comes from building an inner citadel that remains unmoved by either. Another sharp insight: if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. Marcus places the responsibility squarely on our own judgments. This is empowerment, not denial. Praise is merely an impression we've chosen to welcome, and we can receive it without becoming dependent on it. He writes, "You say, men cannot admire the sharpness of your wits. Be it so, but there are many other things. Show those qualities then which are altogether in your power: sincerity, gravity, endurance of labor, aversion to pleasure, contentment with your portion and with few things, benevolence, frankness, no love of superfluity, freedom from trifling, magnanimity." By redirecting attention from qualities that win praise to virtues that are genuinely within our control, we find liberation. This shift places value on what cannot be taken away. While praise creates an unhealthy attachment, blame often provokes either defensive anger or crushing shame. Neither response serves us well. Marcus offers this reframing. Say to yourself in the early morning, "I shall meet with the busybody, the ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, unsocial. All these things happen to them by reason of their ignorance of what is good and evil." By viewing criticism through the lens of the critic's confusion, Marcus doesn't dismiss feedback entirely. He simply places it in proper context. He continues, "But I who have seen the nature of the good, that it is beautiful, and of the bad that it is ugly, I can neither be injured by any of them, for no one can fix on me what is ugly, nor can I be angry with my kinsman, nor hate him." This perspective breeds compassion rather than resentment. Critics are kinsmen who simply don't see clearly. He elaborates, "If any man has done wrong, the harm is his own. But perhaps he has not done wrong." Marcus's commitment to fairness is clear. He acknowledges that sometimes criticism is warranted and sometimes it isn't. Either way, absorbing it emotionally serves no purpose. Another insight: when another blames you or hates you, or when men say about you anything injurious, approach their poor souls, penetrate within, and see what kind of men they are. Often, we find the judgment says more about the judge than about us. The task is to distinguish between useful correction and mere noise. Marcus understood that most human judgment is not the product of careful reasoning, but of social conditioning and emotional reaction. He writes, "Men exist for the sake of one another. Teach them then or bear with them." This compassionate view acknowledges that her judgments are often driven by imitation rather than insight. Elsewhere, he notes, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject." This isn't a call to arrogance, but to discernment. Evaluate the credibility of the source rather than simply counting votes. He warns, "How many of those who once sung your praises have already forgotten you, and how many who praised you are presently blaming you." Public opinion is notoriously fickle. Chasing such approval is like trying to build a house on shifting sand. One striking metaphor: that which is really beautiful has no need of anything. Is such a thing as an emerald made worse than it was if it is not praised? True excellence needs no advertisement. By anchoring our sense of value in the intrinsic quality of our choices, we achieve genuine freedom. So if we cannot rely on praise or blame as our guide, what compass should direct our actions? Marcus returns to one answer: reason and integrity. He writes, "If you work at that which is before you, following right reason seriously, vigorously, calmly, you will live happy. And there is no man who is able to prevent this. This is a promise of happiness that cannot be taken away through committed attention to right action in each moment. He adds, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Not passive resignation, but active engagement without popularity seeking. He advises, "It is thy duty to order thy life well in every single act. Be content." The focus shifts from outcome to process, from reception to intention. Perhaps his most direct counsel, just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. These 7 words capture the essence of Stoic freedom. By concentrating solely on the moral quality of our actions, we discover an immovable center within ourselves. To cultivate this rare kind of freedom, begin each morning with mental preparation. Remind yourself, "I shall meet with the busybody, the ungrateful, the arrogant." In doing so, you prepare your mind for the day's frictions without being thrown off course. In the evening, take a moment to reflect. Ask, "Did I let praise or blame disturb me today?" When someone criticizes you, use it as a mirror. Examine your own flaws with honesty and humility. Then adopt the cosmic view. Remember how small a part of boundless time is assigned to any one of us. Let that perspective shrink the noise. Clarify your core values and use them as a filter for all feedback. Ask yourself daily, what feedback did I receive today? Did it alter my path? You might even create a document of your guiding principles. Let this be your anchor when the winds of public opinion begin to blow. Practice negative visualization. Imagine being criticized for doing what you believe is right. Could you stay the course? Could you remain inwardly free? And perhaps most importantly, learn to praise yourself from within. Let your conscience, not the crowd, be your source of affirmation. As Marcus reminds us, no longer talk at all about the kind of man a good man ought to be, but be such. True freedom comes not from controlling others' opinions, but from liberating ourselves from their influence. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, not others' thoughts about you, your own thoughts about what matters. As you move through your day, remember, just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. May you find strength in both praise and blame, and always follow your reasoned judgment of what is right and good.